Cheers, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of my pathetic life as a homeowner. You know how it goes. Progress and maintenance, right? You do a little bit of progress and you got to do a shitload of maintenance. Right behind me, I got a chair through my fucking screen. And looks like we're going to make another YouTube video. So I'm in my backyard right now. And shit got a little fucked up today. All of this got flattened. I got a freaking chair through this screen. That screen's gone. I got another screen here that's out. This screen's gone. There's a chair over here. I don't know if this chair got thrown at that screen. It might have. Anyways, it looks like we had a little bit of potential micro burst in the backyard. And now I got screens to repair. So let's make a video how to repair a screen. Let's go. All right, screen. Now, at first glance, buying some screen might sound really simple, right? But you're gonna get into Home Depot and you're gonna see this. If you're going for the first time, there's different sizes. Now, even not just sizes, Phifer here, which I bought in Home Depot a few years ago, and then this one I bought recently in Home Depot as well. Now, there is a lot more to these screens, and it's just like everything else in life. There's a lot more to the stuff that sounds so simple at first than meets the eye, right? So screens, there's actually a ton of different types of screens you can get. You can get screens for pets. You can get screens for bugs and mosquitoes. You can get screens for shade, visibility, more sun, less sun, etc. So here's, to give you an idea of how deep this goes, here's a chart from Phifer over here that kind of explains the whole screen situation. And feel free to pause it because I'm not going to leave it on the screen for very long. Now, okay, you got your screen figured out, right? So then we're moving on to the spline. We got spline. You're going to walk into Home Depot and you're going to see this. And if you're new to this, you're gonna get overwhelmed really, really quickly. So let me try to explain to you a little bit about the splines. There's two basic versions of the spline, and one of them happens to be round spline, right? Now, I've bought a bunch of these over the years, and I hate it, and it's kind of annoying, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But on the round spline, you have different diameters, 0.22 inch, 0.19 inch, 0.175 inch, 0.125 inch diameter round spline. And what they want you to do, or what you're supposed to do, is you're supposed to figure out the diameter or the thickness of this slot right here where the spline is supposed to go into. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know how to measure. I have a caliper. I do have a caliper, but not a lot of people have a caliper to figure it out. And the fact that they make it in inch form, like 0.22 inch diameter, 0.22 inch, it's absolutely ridiculous. Hence why I have so many of these things. I ended up just buying a bunch of them off the shelf and just crossing my fingers I got the right one when I went to do a lot of these other screens here that I've done in the past. But that being said, the second type of spline is flat spline right here. And I'll get into flat spline a little bit later on in this video, but this has become my go-to spline because it's just easier to work with. You don't have all this diameter stuff and whatnot to deal with. So let's keep going with this. Generally speaking, your rail will have an indent on one side and it's usually onto the inside. So what I mean by that is this side is pretty flush. This side goes in on an angle like that. That's why we're gonna be using flat spline in this case. I've used the round stuff on a lot of these other meshes, probably some of these in the past, and the round stuff's okay if you get the right size. If you don't get the right size, it's too loose or you're having to like really roll it in pretty heavily. Speaking of rollers, you're gonna need one of these. One of these rollers right here. Now, anything I use in this video, I'm gonna post a link to in the description. And I'll probably post a link to a kit, which if it's your first time, the kit's probably your better way to go. But you're gonna need a roller, spline, screen. Let's get started. First things first, we gotta clean out these rails. I gotta rip all the other stuff that was in them out. I'm using a little flathead screwdriver. If you purchase the kit that I'm linked to, it should come with a little hook to help get this stuff out, just like that, and start pulling it out. There, that's it. Do that all the way around. As you can see, I have disrupted the migration path of the good old Monarch because of my screen situation. Next up to bat, measure this window out. I'm not gonna bore you with it. And then measure your screen out and just make sure you have like 2 to 3 inches overlap around each side of it. And then we'll trim that off in a bit. The screen is cut. And this is where it gets really, really annoying. And I purchased off of Amazon some clips to help me out in this situation, but they haven't arrived yet. They're arriving today, and I'm not gonna wait because the time says up until 10 p.m. they're gonna arrive. Now, when I say annoying, I have to kind of like half-ass. If you look down there, I got plants to deal with. I have to like half-ass this into some sort of position here to get me started, and it's tricky as hell, as you can see here. So what I had to do, because I don't have the clips, I cut up little pieces of the tubing that I had over there, and I'm gonna try to jam it in here just to hold this in place. And I just want to do like a little small section like that. Try to ram that in there. Super annoying, these clips, which I'm gonna show you right now. So really quick, I just want to say these clips came in, and this is kind of how they work. You just clip them, push it into the rail, doesn't matter what size it is, and they hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, easy peasy. I'm just gonna put one every so many feet just to hold this. As you can see, this is a freaking pain in the ass. That's the last one here. Got one here, got one here, there, and one on the end. So this is holding up the top of the screen temporarily. Let's do the bottom. One here, and I'm just gonna do another one over here just to kind of peg it. Now, the question that's gonna get asked is, do you need to pull on it? Do you need to tighten it, tension it? How do you get it to go straight? Honestly, don't do anything, don't pull, don't do anything. You don't need to tension it. Once you start pushing this stuff into the rails, it automatically will start tensioning this thing so it'll look flat. So don't push and pull and do all that stuff. The top part, the spline is in. So the kind of the rule of thumb when putting the spline in is to try to do the longer sides first and then do the shorter sides. In my case, they're almost equal. So I'm just doing the top and the bottom, and then I'm gonna do the sides after the top and bottom are done. So I wanna get into the topic of spline. I am using a flat spline here. And if you notice, there's a rounded side and a flat side. Now, there's a reason for that. I'll show you a picture of that and hopefully on the screen if I can find something on the internet. So the million-dollar question that you're asking yourself is, which way does this flat spline go in? And I'm gonna try to show this, and this might be hard on camera, but basically the rounded edge goes up, but when you're inserting it, you wanna insert it like this. Mind you, there's no screen here. You insert it, and then you take your roller and you just drive it like that. And it secures the screen pretty well. The reason why I like this over the round stuff is because it just seems like it goes in a lot easier. That's my personal opinion on it, and I'm pretty sure it's an accurate depiction of reality, that it's way easier to deal with than actually dealing with the round splines. So let's get started here. Now, it comes down to tension, right? And this is kind of the rule of thumb, is try to get it aligned as best you can. Don't tug it, and I said that earlier, don't tug it, just kind of roll with it, and it'll kind of naturally it'll naturally tension itself. And if you notice what I just did there, I did roll it down a little bit just so I can kind of get this started here. And this is how fast the flat spline goes. If you're doing round, you're gonna notice a significant slower situation. Oh God, I'm having a hard time seeing, to be honest with you. There we go. Just keep driving it like that and keep it going. Now, when you're installing this, there's gonna be a groove, and I mentioned it earlier in this video, and that groove is basically designed for this flat spline. And then cut the excess off. So all the spline's in. The last thing you wanna do, or last thing I do, is I just cut the trim off, right? Or the excess off. And the way I do this is I just got myself a blade out of a box cutter and start trimming. One thing you want to do is aim the blade at the frame, not the screen, so to avoid a bit of potential cutting. So I'm just gonna do this all the way around. Cheers, little buddy. You are more than welcome to fly away. Well, there you have it, folks. A job well done. As always, I am by no means a professional at this, so feel free to call me out if I did anything wrong, or post your tips and tricks on putting in a screen. But anyways, that's it for now. I am off to the next battle. Please do me a favor, if you made it this far, like and subscribe, and we'll go from there. Cheers.